What's up, everybody? Jordan Miller here.
How's it going,
sitting
everybody?
with Austin Kiergaard today. Last week, we started part 1 of our Separate Yourself series, and we talked a lot about separating yourself from those negative people, those negative influences in your life, and we gave 3 tangible ways that you can go about doing that.
Yes, and now we want to shift and with the part 2, talking about having a plan of action. We've discussed this in a few different ways of previous podcasts,
Yes.
but we feel it's important because we can sit here and talk till we're blue in the face
Right.
about doing things, but it's really, you really need to do something. You can't just watch motivational stuff and listen to motivational stuff and then feel really good for about 5 minutes and that's it. It takes an action plan.
It takes a plan of action, and the key of emphasis we're focusing on that today is following through
Yes.
on that plan of action. Austin, you've been in the health and fitness field, the training field for over a decade, about a decade here. And so you've seen people who have followed through,
Yeah.
and you've seen a lot of people who struggle with following through, whether that be with their nutrition, whether that be with their training, whether that be with just a goal that they have in life. Why is that?
Let me take a step back here. I think it's because people get busy with life. People have kids, they have jobs, they have extracurricular activities. They have things that are very important to them. For whatever reason, whether it's physical or emotional health, they don't prioritize that as such because work is important. We need to work to make money to pay our bills. Bills are important. So a lot of people put that up top. And then it's family, which, that's got to support and provide for family, so I get that. But it's kind of like what I see the people that don't succeed is they put themselves last. And I understand that concept because if we put ourselves first, it comes across as selfish. And so I think that's a mindset that
Sure.
some people really struggle with.
Yeah, and it's funny that you say that because I really think about that in an opposite sense. When you say, you put yourself last, people are afraid to put themselves first because it doesn't sound good, right?
It doesn't.
Like,
No, it
I
sounds
put
terrible.
myself first and I love myself. Like, they
Right.
think, okay, that person's narcissistic,
Yep.
whoever it may be. But I kind of think about it in the opposite sense of, hey, if I can love myself and if I can focus on things that I know will make me better and things that make me happy, I'm that much better at my job.
Mhm.
I'm that much better for my family because my true happiness is actually arising from myself. That you don't really realize
Yes.
is there. You think you're generically happy. But I know for me and myself, once I've learned to have the confidence enough to be like, yeah, I put my goals very high up the priority list.
Yeah.
I put those things that I want to accomplish very high, oftentimes first.
Yes.
And but I know how much happier I am and then how much better I am for those around me.
No, I love that. And that's the mindset that I think people that achieve their goal and don't achieve their goal, I think that's the big difference is because they feel selfish if they put themselves first.
Yeah.
But instead of they don't see that if they put themselves first in the aspect of if I take care of my life and what I'm able to control, if I can take care of that stuff, I will be able to take care of my family,
Yeah.
my relationships, my bills, and I'll be able to do it with a more positive mindset because I'm taking care of myself internally, therefore I feel better about myself.
100%.
And if I'm feeling better about myself, I'm going to feel better about going on with my day and my everyday things as well. And so I think that that's a big...
You're eliminating those negative thought processes in your head, those things that you want to do, those things that are weighing on you because they're on your heart, they're on your mind, you want to do them. And I know that when I don't work on those things, how subconsciously and consciously they're there bothering me.
Yeah.
That breeds negative thoughts. That breeds a downing feeling that I'm not getting done, I'm not accomplishing those things that I want to accomplish. Instead of, and when I say put things first, I don't mean you're eliminating your family. You're not paying attention to them. I'm not saying that whatsoever. I'm just saying that, hey, in the evening time, I might not go to bed as early.
Right.
Or I might get up earlier because that's the only time I have to work on those things that are important to me. I'm not necessarily lessening the time with my family at all, or
Right.
any of those things. It's just prioritizing those things that are important. That way, I can get them done, and in my definition of being successful, aids in that.
And that's a good point to bounce off of is that you mentioned staying up later or getting up earlier to work on yourself. And that's where some people don't see results with their health and fitness goals, and some do, is we've talked about this before, but it's relevant. Is people will, how do I say this? They'll maybe Netflix instead of focusing on
Sure.
like Netflix is their self. So
Yep.
it's like, well, I'd rather watch a few hours of Netflix than get my stuff ready for
Yeah.
what are those meals or the preparing my clothes and stuff for the next day. Like, it's just they put other things first because, again, like, and I get it, like, these other things are more important to me right now.
Yep.
And so these other things are more important to them than what their goals are.
And you hit a great point right there. So you put the whole, my goals right here and what are important to me right here.
Yeah.
So basically what you're saying is that people are putting the now, the micro things, the things that are important in the second versus the things that are important to their overall goal. And that's
100%.
inhibiting them from accomplishing
It
the
is.
overall goal. And so what a great tangible thing to take with you there is to think about if the decision you make in the now inhibits the big goal, slows it down, makes it farther out of reach, maybe that's the wrong decision.
Yes.
It definitely is the wrong decision.
And it's going to be a hard decision because I'll use, like myself, for example, there's things that in the now, I'm like, this would be a great opportunity to do something right now. But the time that now is going to take away from what other things that I need to be doing to get to my goal
Exactly.
is going to slow that goal down.
It takes away from the big picture plan.
So even though this would be a great opportunity now, do I accept that opportunity that's here right now, or do I stay on the course, on the plan of action and working towards my goal? It's a hard decision for people to make.
It's a very hard decision, but I think it really goes right back to the talk of this podcast in, hey, sticking with the plan, following through. Even if that plan might have to adjust and change, that's okay.
Yeah.
You still need to follow through with it. So many times we're giving up on those dreams, goals, and ambitions way too fast because things get hard. There's things in the way that just stand in your way that distract you, and you're leaving your goals, dreams, and ambitions in the dust.
Yeah, because
You know.
you're leaving them for the now.
You're leaving them for the now versus the overall big picture plan.
Yeah.
And so, that is our urge to ourselves and to other people, that sticking with your plan doesn't mean you can't adjust it, but stick with it, follow through, have that gumption, the strong mentality to follow through with what you actually want to accomplish, and don't sell yourself short.
Yeah, don't sell yourself short, because if you do, you're just going to be in that hamster wheel and you're going to keep spinning and not getting to where you want to be. And if you jump to the now, and the now doesn't always have to be bad. If there's a huge opportunity, but that's where you have to be honest with yourself.
Most likely that's going to go towards your big picture plan anyway.
Right,
If
exactly.
it's that important.
Exactly. So we're not saying the now is bad. We're just saying that a lot of people go and they just do the now,
And it
and it distracts them from their goal. And so try not to get distracted with the now unless it's feeding back towards your goal and it's going to be positive towards your goal, because otherwise you're just going to constantly get lost. You're going to constantly get
Negative
feedback,
which
negative
goes
thoughts.
back to the first part of this.
Exactly. You're going to
Separate
get
yourself
frustrated,
series.
so you're going to start being negative and hard on
Right.
yourself, and then you're going to start being upset that you aren't putting yourself first.
Yes.
And it's not that putting yourself first has to be a selfish decision. You just need, if you're really serious about your goals, then you need to put them above other things.
All these things go line in line in line. All the dots connect from
Yes.
this part 1 of this series all the way to the end of this podcast, part 2 of this series.
Mhm.
Is if you look back at all these things we talk about, they really correlate, they really connect the dots.
Yes.
Because there are definite things that we've gone through over the last decade in our professions,
Mhm.
in our marriage lives, in our relationships, within our careers. So a little bit for you today in part 2 of Separating Yourself series, sticking with the plan, follow through, having the courage, having the self-ambition and the self-discipline to make yourself follow through, to stick to that long-term plan and not let the distractions of the now distract you from your overall goal.
Stay focused, stay driven, and don't get distracted.
Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Thanks, guys.